Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Diane Deziel, and today I'm going to show you how to transform one of your pattern into a maternity pattern. To make the top that I show you at the presentation of the video, I simply use my shirt pattern that I did with you, and I did fold at the center front, so before the overlap. Then I'm going to ask you to find 3 different areas where we can open the pattern at the bottom. For this example, what I did is I just used the notch that I had to assemble the yoke at the shoulder. So I'm going to use this point as my first opening, and I'm going to find another one maybe halfway from the armhole to this point. So this is going to be my number 2. And my third opening, I'll do it in the armhole, the bottom part of the armhole. Let's say over here, my third opening. Then you're going to take your long ruler and trace line for each one of these openings. It could be parallel, but it doesn't really matter because they're not style line, they're just to open and we're not going to see them. So you're going to trace from the shoulder to the bottom. Same thing for the third one, from the armhole to the bottom. Then you're going to trace the first part. You could see my first part that goes from center front to the first line. Now for the opening, I'm going to give you measurement right now because I did the top already, and with this length of top, 3 opening of 4 centimeter was doing the right job and give me the right amount I need. And remember, longer is going to be your top, or if you do a dress, bigger should be the opening. I'm going to show you after how to check to see if you have the proper opening. So for my first opening, I'm going to measure my first 4 centimeter. Then I'm going to hold my pattern at the shoulder level at my first reference, and I'm going to pivot the pattern to create the opening. Next, you're going to trace from the first opening to the second one at the bottom and at the shoulder. Then you're going to measure another 4 centimeter, always towards the side seam, and do the same thing again, holding the pivot at the second opening now, and moving the second opening to the 4 centimeter. Then you're going to trace the third part. So from the second opening all the way to the third opening in the armhole, and same thing at the bottom. Then measure your third opening, again 4 centimeter, and we do the last one, holding the pivot at the third opening reference and pivoting the pattern until the 4 centimeter. Now you could trace the last part, and before to move your pattern, just double check to see if you have the right amount. Again, the measurement that I'm giving you today could be a little different from one person to the other. This one is giving me 7.5 centimeter, and that's exactly what I need to fit with the belly that I use to show you at the beginning. If you did not get the measurement that you need, just make your opening wider. Now since mine is okay, that's what I was looking for, I'm going to do a last little modification to give some more room. I'm going to make the side seam straight from the hip level to the underarm point. Now to make the bottom part even, since the belly is going to lift the garment a bit, I'm going to ask you to add an extra 4 centimeter at the bottom at the center front. This measurement also could change from one person to the other, but since I use my shirt block that was already curved down, 4 centimeter was the perfect measurement for this top. As you notice, this line, I trace it square from center front for about 10 centimeter. Then you just have to connect with your side seam point. Now your pattern is finished. We're going to put the information. So my center front is on fold, and I'm going to do my grain line parallel to center front. And this pattern piece is going to be cut one time in self fabric. Now, as you saw on my sample, I put an elastic under the bust so we have a better fit. And to get the placement of this elastic, hopefully you did the shirt pattern with me and you did indicate your bust or your apex level. So this is mine. Now on the shirt pattern, you're going to measure from the apex the radius of your bust, and that should be about 7.5 centimeter. Doesn't matter where you mark it on your pattern, just pick a point somewhere and indicate your 7.5 centimeter. Now on that point, you're going to make a little hole big enough so you could go through with your pencil. Then take your pattern again and place it over the new one, pretty much in the middle of your development. Then to be able to pivot properly, I'm just going to fold the bottom part so it doesn't get too long. And I'm going to hold my pivot, use your pencil, and the other hole, the 7.5 centimeter, just pivot your circle around. This is going to give you exactly where the bust would be, and it's a good reference to have it on your pattern, because if you want to cut your pattern under the bust, you have the right level. Now for this example, it's to put an elastic, so I'm going to ask you to trace a square line from center front, touching the underarm of the bust, and just elongate it until pretty much the width of the circle. Now you're going to measure this line. I got 20 centimeter, and you're going to double it because this is only half pattern. If you want to do full front, it has to be double. And to that final measurement, minus 1/3 of the measurement. So you're going to get exactly the length of your elastic. Now on the fabric, you're going to need a reference to be able to sew your elastic, and you're going to put a little punch hole about 3 millimeter inside your mark, and you're going to report it on the wrong side of the fabric. So you could put your elastic from side to side and create your little gathers that you need. Now your pattern is really completed, and remember all the other piece, you could use the one that you have for your basic shirt block. Now let's take a look at what we've done. We did the opening at 3 different places, so the garment could fall flat here instead of doing it only at the center front and having the garment pointing towards the front like that, or a flare at the center front if it's a little big. So the 3 opening assure you that the fall of the garment is good. And if we'll take a look at the side seam, here I didn't do my back, but it just fall, and you could see that your side seam is straight, instead of if you, for example, just wear wider garment, the excess that you have in the back would shift the seam allowance to compensate for the belly in the front, and your side seam would be curved. Now also, I want you to look at the bottom that looks straight because of the add-on that we did at the bottom. Now I'm going to show you the camisole that is under that top. Here I put a normal camisole, and you could see that the side seam is going round towards the front because the stretch fabric is just going to make it even back and front, so the back will compensate for what's needed in the front. Now the other thing you could see is that your camisole always going to lift on the front because of the length that you need over here. Now if you want to do knit pattern for maternity, it's completely a different way, and if you're interested in learning how to do it, just let me know. Now to make this video, I did some search and tried to find that belly that they used to sell just for the try-on of the maternity clothes, but I didn't find anything beside the silicone belly that is quite expensive. So I did create my own, and after I thought that maybe you want to do your own also. So I came up with this shape that respects exactly the size of the silicone belly. Now let me show you what it looks like. So here it is. I did a 3D shape using multiple pattern piece, and also the inside that is a 3D but going in, so you could put it over your belly, and the cushion or the form respect your body shape also. My little belly is almost finished. I would just put a Velcro so you could attach it easily. If you're interested in learning how to do a 3D shape, just let me know and it will be my pleasure to make a video about it. That's it for today. I hope the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching and I see you next time.